Rivez Reihana, brother Grips. It's been about 4 months for you recently. Has life actually changed a little bit or no?
Yeah, a little bit, eh? You get recognised a little bit more. Up north there and even down the line. There's a few hellos and people catching up with you. It's changed a little bit in that sense, I guess.
Yeah. Anything else you had up like sponsors and Instagram?
Well, there's been the odd message, some free crocs and there's been a couple of packages that have come in, so it's been nice.
Yeah, feel fit later. On that, obviously won a super title. Came in a bit late in the season, won the title. Big Māori All Blacks campaign, did well there. Do you feel more pressure now because you've got a bit of a reputation, or is there less weight on the shoulders because you've already won a Super Rugby title?
I'd say a bit of both. Winning was awesome, bro. It was honestly life changing. I guess you can tick that off, but I think winning kind of just makes you hungry for more. If you hear what I mean, like when you get to that mountaintop, you just want to go back again the next year. And I'm really signed with the Crusaders and the Tames for another year, so I'm pretty keen to jump back on board.
Nice, bro. Definitely. Obviously, on that, it's a pretty big shoes to fill down at the Crusaders. You and Taha. How was that, man? Did that play on your mind a little bit, having to fill Richie Wanga's shoes or not?
I guess it's like you get a lot of media attention, I reckon. There's been some awesome first fives down there, and all of them have pretty much been All Blacks, and some of them All Black greats. Dan Carter,
Jersey's famous, man.
Which you know, so there's definitely big shoes to fill, but I think what we did really well this year was we just focused on our footy, like how we could be better rugby players, how we could help each other out. And having James O'Connor across the ditch he's awesome for me, bro.
Yeah, what was he like?
Yeah, he's a man. Didn't really know what to expect when he first come in, but he made it pretty clear from day dot that he wanted to compete.
Sure. But he wanted to start, eh?
Yeah, he pretty much told me I'm here to compete with you boys. But in the same breath, he was pretty keen to help coach us and I guess give us some lessons that he's learnt over his career. He's been a pro for like 17, 18 years, bro. So he's so I guess generous with his time. He's probably the biggest student in the game that I've met.
Is that right?
Yeah. So like him being mid-30s, pretty much done everything in rugby, and he's still the biggest student in the game. Is pretty inspiring. When I started playing, like the back in the Super, we were roommates on the away trips.
Yeah.
And after every game, like we wouldn't go to bed till the next morning because he'd want to get the review done. He'd want to get
showing the fan about code for the whole night.
Nice code. Would make like notes on his phone where he'd just pick apart the game and take anything that would make us better into next week.
Crazy, he's played all those years and still that into it, eh?
Yeah,
hasn't worn him down at all.
No, I think that's why he's just played the Springboks last week.
Went well too.
Did a job, so I think he's still got that fire in him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember when he first came out. I swear he was about 16, eh?
He debuted for Super, he's like 16, 17. Then debuted for the Wallabies a year later, so...
Little Justin Bieber looking
kid. Yeah, fucking Jesse McCart there when he was
he's shaved the head now, but got a crew cut.
No, he's a top man, bro. Like, he's so cruisy off the field. Pretty much every day off he'd come in and do some kicking with me, Taha and Jimmy White. He's a big mentor for us this year.
This is a big thing I wanted to talk to you about. So you're mean at this, the ability to not even be in the 23 throughout pretty much quite a lot of the season, and then slot in and go unreal. How'd you go about that? It's not easy, bro.
I guess like those moments are, for me, more of a test of your character than anything. And being down at the Crusaders was real easy to, I guess, do what's best for the team because everyone's doing it. So. You're going to be the outlier if you're not doing it. But I've always tried to, carry that with me through any team. When I was down at the Chiefs, like, I was missing out on most 23s each week. So yeah, I guess for me is how could I best prepare the team, and that was with either the kaitiaki or I think we could have put to my back then, but
Yeah.
just like the dirty duties, doing a job for starters. You can push your case for the starting team if you're doing well on those Thursday trainings. So.
You can, and sometimes you forget about that when you've been in the grind on the other side for a while, that you're actually still pushing your case. Because it's tough, because you're trying to prepare the boys, so you're going through maps of the opposite team, but then you also want to keep an eye on what the boys are doing too. You're in the Crusaders maps and all that.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Like,
it's a lot of work.
you don't want to get left behind. I think that's what drives you as well. But yeah, I just trying to get back into the team it's probably the hardest position that you can find yourself in. It either takes an injury or you to train the house down. And I guess felt like I was training pretty well. Coming back from an injury, I got injured back in January. Did like my ankle, tore like all the ligaments on the inside. Thought I had a pretty good pre-season, so I like to think I was in the mix at the start of Super, and then obviously I was out for 2 to 3 months. So it took me a while to come back in, and then he played well, bro. Like, took the keys, led the team around awesomely, and it was pretty hard for me to find my way back in the 23, but rugby's rugby. He ended up doing his ACL, which was pretty tough for him, and I was his roommate that night, so it was a bit of mixed feelings. It was pretty tough for him. So,
hard. I was actually talking with a few of the young boys because I work in rugby, and sometimes like the whole thing about a week in rugby is a long time, man. Your future can change within a week, like what happened to you, So staying ready is so important. Even off a bad performance, you have a good one the next week, and no one even remembers that. People's minds are pretty fickle, but bro, congratulations on that season, man. It was unbelievable. But hey, if anyone could do it, it was you, because when you started at the Tunnies, I remember when you first came in, because you obviously had a lot of hype around you, going through the schoolboy system and then NZ 2020s there. You captain? You were captain too?
No. Not captain, no. Oh, for the schools, yeah.
Spiritual captain.
That's field captain.
Yes, mate. But obviously you come up and bro, like, it wasn't easy at the start because you were still young, and like performances at times were a bit edgy, then good, bad. But then, man, every time, what I noticed about you, every time the first training of the week, you were the first one in, didn't matter if it was a good performance, bad, average, whatever, first one in, smile on your face every time, working the hardest every time, like mad resilience, man. Like, that's why I was like, this dude's gonna be the guy, and it's just showing, because like, I reckon you've got a high roof, man. Like, every year you're getting better and better, and it's what's behind that, bro? You just mentally, you just got that resilience,
I think I've probably seen it from my parents growing up. Yeah, like my old man's, he's one of the hardest workers I know, and he always used to drill it into me as a kid. It's real cliche, but talent's only going to take you so far. So,
yes, sir.
I guess I've had that work ethic since I was a kid. Seeing examples like him, go to work, working hard. But then, I guess heading into rugby and trying to make a career out of that. I don't know, it's just always, I guess, been within. I've always had that drive to want to be better every day. I guess it's come from the old man, but there are days where it's like today it's a day off, but body's sore, like you can make up all these excuses, but if you really want it, then you just gotta go after it, get it.
Yeah, bro, because I know if you don't get too low if you have a bad game, but you don't get too high if you have a good one either. So I kind of learned to a few. If I had a good game, about, and if I had a bad game, bro, I'd play on my mind, especially when I was younger. I'd play on my mind for a long time. Like, it started affecting my normal life, But when I got older, it was kind of different. It kind of evened out, and you learn as you go, eh? But you've already got that mentality, man. You're still young. It's unreal. So take us back, bro, to where it all started as a young Rives.
Yeah, my first memories are sort of playing for Carmel Rugby Club. That's my junior club.
Yeah. Blizz will be happy, man.
Yeah, shout out Blizz, man. He's done well. Yeah, those are my first sort of memories, running around barefoot up Carmel. I think Tony Monahan was one of my first coaches.
Yeah,
He's a
legend.
Northland legend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he was massive for me growing up. Obviously, he's played professional footy and been there, done that. And I also jumped over to HH actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I was at Hura Hura
Didn't even
when
know.
I was a bit younger. I was pretty much just following my mates. We had like a good core group of mates who play rugby, and yeah, you pretty much follow them around.
What age did you start thinking, I can make something out of this? You know, I can make a life out of this?
It's always been a dream to play rugby. I think from back as far as I can remember, like when I was at primary school, I wanted to be an All Black.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had some mates who we played a lot of sports together. I don't know if you know Paul Turner, but he's playing
plays
in
in now. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's playing right now. He's in the UK for a little bit, but he did debut a few years back. Dylan Brown was in there as well.
Yeah. Superstar now.
Yeah, just superstar now, and so we all went to the same primary school together.
Yeah.
Which, looking back on it now, is pretty cool seeing a few boys playing it around, some playing Super Rugby. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much my childhood. Like, it was fairly simple. Like, my parents
Good
quite
Kiwi childhood, eh?
Yeah.
Rugby was like religion at the house.
That's it. Yeah. My sisters all played rugby.
True.
Yeah. So actually, my first club might have been All Tangaday Knights. I think when I was real young, 3 or 4, running down OT fields barefoot.
Fishbone Park.
Yeah. Searching like the field for cans and blowing up.
Through the needles.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's very security cans. Yes.
Tough name.
Yeah, I just jumped in my sister's teams. I was always playing, I guess, a few years above my weight. My sister's 1 year, 2 year, and a couple more years older than me, so I was always playing in their teams. Some bigger kids, but it was good fun.
What age did you start training in the shadows, starting to do your own training? When did you start that?
My dad taught me that pretty early as well. He's my biggest coach and biggest supporter. He'd take me down to HH. We live over in Woodhull, over by the hospital, and so we'd just go down to HH and kick seeds for hours on end. And he was always the one who'd kick them back. So I was 6 or 7.
That early?
Yeah, I was pretty early.
Damn,
I'd also play soccer, so I'd just be kicking the soccer ball in the backyard against the house, against the brick wall.
I played soccer too, bro, until I was about 11. I reckon it's not a bad sport when you're young to get your skills up, because rugby at that young age is kind of just a big hunting fodder and you just run in the straight, where soccer you got a bit of skill to it and stuff. So that's interesting. So when did you go after the young club stuff? You shot off to Auckland, eh?
Yeah, so then I ended up getting a scholarship to St Kitts. I'll be down in year 9, which is back in 2014. It's a long time.
Man.
But I went to boarding school, boarded there for 5 years, year 9, year 13. I reckon it was an awesome time, eh?
Yeah.
You get pretty close with your mates over there.
So you advise, you think that's, obviously there's a lot of boys up here up north that kind of get that option. Like I know a few that have been approached by schools in Auckland and stuff, and they because the boys up north, they're pretty they're homebodies and stuff. So you think it's a pretty good idea to look at your options, and for your rugby especially, to go to maybe head down to these bigger cities?
I think if there is an option, then definitely weigh up the pros and cons. It's not for everyone. For me, if I stayed in Whangarei, I'm not sure what my career would have ended up
You'd be an All Black.
yeah, potentially. Yeah. But you don't meet. I met a different set of people who I wouldn't meet if I stayed up home.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay with my mates up home here. They were all going to Whangarei Boys, so I wanted to go to Whangarei Boys.
Yeah.
But sometimes, in order to get out of your comfort zone, like you need to grow. So
Yeah, man.
but, that was a good opportunity for me to just try something different. It's not for everyone, but it ended up being some of the best years of my life because I was able to form friendships with some of the boys who were going through the same thing.
A lot of those boys in your first 15, have they gone on?
I'd say probably half have gone on to play Super Rugby.
That's a wild strike, right?
Where potentially even more. I think my last year there's a few boys who've definitely gone on to be an All Black or play Super Rugby or be in the NRL. So
probably it obviously comes with the advantages. You got more eyes on you, and probably the coaching's probably a bit sharper.
Facilities they were second to none there. You got the gym, 2-minute walk down the road.
You got like school. You used to do like school periods where it's just rugby.
Yep. Yeah, it was rugby academy, which was it's interesting. Like every Friday, you just go out and throw a seat around. So, like the coaching was pretty good. Man, like looking back on it now, the head coach who coached us was Tyler Veer.
Yeah.
And he's been over in Japan for the last couple of years, and he just won back-to-back finals with Toshiba. So we're in pretty
nice
good
connection there.
The time comes through. The time comes through, but the Auckland schools, like they've obviously got a bit more eyes on them. They've got some TV games. I'm not sure if they do it now, but back then they used to have TV game once a week. So that's pretty cool. But if you want to stay in Whangarei, then you can stay in Whangarei as well.
I think it's definitely like with the smaller, like the other schools, like say Whangarei Boys, for example. If your year group or around your year group's a good rugby year group, then maybe it is a good option to stay. Because at the moment, at Whangarei Boys, they've got a real good crew there. Yeah. It's cool to watch, it makes me nostalgic. They said their final, they just lost, but it was a good performance. And they come to the Northland gym and stuff, and you can see how tight and keen they are. They're a good group of boys. So I guess you got to take into account, like the situation of the year groups. Because when I was at my school, it was like the school only had 300 people, my high school. But and I got a couple of offers to go to bigger ones and play in the press cup and stuff. But we had like one mad year group of good players. Like it's probably once in a, they don't even have first 15 anymore. So I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave. Because I love those boys, and it was a good decision for me. But it's going to be interesting. Like, I don't know how many professional players are going to come out of smaller schools anymore. Because like a lot of the small schools around Northland aren't even got first 15s anymore, So it's almost starting to all funnel into the bigger cities now.
You can definitely do it. Like you've seen examples of boys coming out of smaller schools, even out of Whangarei.
It's a beautiful story.
It's still possible. Like, I don't think you have to go to an Auckland school to crack the next level. With enough hard work, you can still achieve whatever you want.
True that, bro. And I think what we spoke about earlier, it's probably that working in the shadows, kind of when no one's watching, is probably, for me, was the biggest help for me, just going to the field with my headphones on my own, and that stuff. And because I speak to a lot of the boys up here, and I don't, sometimes, and the girls and stuff, I think you just, they don't quite realise how much work you're going to put in, like to be a good goal kicker or a good line-out thrower, like those kind of skills, goal kicking, line-out throwing, the system skills. Like you can get good at that anywhere. You don't need good coaches. Like just reps. And that's one thing I'd say that we need to learn up here a bit more, is just doing that work while no one's watching, And because I reckon that's where the best rewards come from. What do you do? What's your thoughts?
100%, bro. That's the basics. Like, don't get bored of the basics. I think about some of the world-class players that I've played alongside of and seen go to work. They're just doing the basics really well under pressure, and that's all it is. So, don't get bored of the basics for me. Is probably the biggest thing.
And then so what, you go from, you made the NZ20s, then you go to Waikato, eh?
Yep. So then went down to Waikato, so signed a couple of years out of school
Yeah.
for the first 2 years, and my debut actually came around pretty quick. I debuted in 2019, left school end of 2018. So I come off the bench for Waikato against Canterbury, round 1.
Nice. Did the Tannies come calling for you straight out of school or no?
Yep, I think times, yeah.
So you had some decisions. Did anyone else?
Taramaki,
Oh, yeah.
yep, from memory, it's a long time ago. But yeah, I had a few options to, I guess, choose from, and me and mum and dad had a few
Chats about it.
Yeah, a few chats about her, and ultimately I just wanted to do what my parents almost wanted me to do.
Yeah.
They made a lot of decisions for me earlier on, especially going to St Kitts. Like I wanted to stay in Whangarei, but they pushed the case for me to head down to Auckland and try something different, and it ended up working out for me, so I just trusted what I guess they thought was the best option for me, so we ended up coming up with, I guess Waikato and the Chiefs were the main option for me.
So the Chiefs are kind of linked in with the Waikato?
Yeah, so they were kind of linked in with that decision.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to have that, I guess, security
Yeah.
coming out of school, and I ended up signing that in my year 12 year, so year 13 year I could just focus on footy, which is pretty cool. So I used to have those pressures to perform for a contract in your last year.
Yeah, man, you've had it from school, eh? Like a little bit of pressure around you to perform. That's different, man. Like, for me, it was more the underdog energy, you know, and that's almost easier than being someone that's, you know, a young, like, kind of prodigy. Eh? That's tough, bro. Like, and you've lived up to it. It's mean. So what? You go from Waikato, play a couple games with the Chiefs, say, off that.
Yep. So I debuted in 2021 against the Blues.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes off the bench. And that was sort of my career at the Chiefs, was just a few minutes off the bench. I don't think I started for the Chiefs actually. And a lot of my minutes were at 15. I didn't even play 10 at the Chiefs. But I guess I was fine with that. In my head I was just buying time to try and get a crack when I was a little bit older. But yeah, and then that was when Damien was playing at 15, so there's kind of an opportunity to play at 10, and then he ended up switching, so he kind of shut that to
Yeah.
But yeah, I was still pretty keen to come home. I was talking to Sock quite a bit out of school, and there come a time where I was coming off contract for Waikato, and I remember the message that he sent me around wanting to come up home, and he pretty much just said it, you can't beat it. And looking back now, he's pretty much bang on. Like, if I was to try and sell a dream to anyone else coming home, that would be it. Like, you can't beat it. And I've loved my time up here with the Tannies so far, so it's been a good decision.
It's like speaking about Sock, you and Sock, you're both pretty much from school, had contracts. Well, you were almost at school still going forward, so you probably never had a proper job, like outside of rugby type of job.
I think one summer we worked at Flyways, me and my mates. Flyways? It's like this you're just like moving freight around pretty much. Like, you were unloading trucks and loading them up again, just at a warehouse. We spent the summer, me and a couple of other boys, spent the summer down in Auckland working on these trucks. And it makes you feel real grateful.
Right.
But,
You've had a taste of that kind of work.
Yeah. So that was, definitely I want to go back to that.
That's like, man, that was like one of the driving forces for me not to want to make it in rugby, is not to end up with some shitty jobs, man.
Yeah.
But it is worth doing those jobs and trying to stick at them for a while, because damn, man, you'll train the house down.
100%
Get away from that.
You think about rugby players, you get a day off, once a week, so it's pretty easy compared to having to work Monday to Friday or something like that.
100%, bro. So then, obviously, go to the Tannies, go well. then the Crusaders, they come knocking, eh?
Yeah, so I went to Northland in 2021 after 2 years of Waikato, and like you were saying before, I really struggled that year. Yeah, it was pretty hard to come in and try and drive a team around being so young.
As a 10 man, it's especially that position because I talk from my experience too as a young 10. Like I found it real hard to order because we had when I was at Tasman, we had some All Blacks in the team and stuff. And I'm like, how am I meant to tell these dudes what to do? This little dude from Picton, you know. Man, that's a tough challenge, eh? So you felt that challenge a wee bit as well?
100%. And even with the Crusaders last year, having to tell Scott Barrett what to do. It was, it's not until as you get time to settle and a bit more reps where you feel comfortable.
And that respect.
And I think you earn that respect through hard work, like what you've touched on before. But yeah, it is, I guess that's probably one of the biggest things that people don't really tell you coming into a professional environment as a first five is you have to drive a team, drive the messages throughout the week, pretty much tell the forwards what to do, where to be, the calls and everything like that. So
tough for a dude like you two, you're not the loudest man out of nature.
Yeah, 100%. And like you say, the boys who are a bit shy, it's definitely, I used to work on to this day is still doing that, but you get better with time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, bro. So on your time, obviously at the moment you're in a good spot, say this and that, but there's the news of Richie Wonga's coming back, eh? What's your thought? Will he play next year or is he the year after that?
He's signed for the year after that, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so
he's back for NZ Rugby middle of next year, like July onwards.
Or for NPC, and then he'll go to... if he plays, So what's your thoughts, man? That's an interesting one. What's your thoughts around that?
Yeah, I got a call from Pens before it ended up coming back, going out to the public, and from that call, I kind of feel like hopefully they want to keep us around. But yeah, I'm not too sure what 2027 looks like for me. I'm only signed until 2026. So
right.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what I guess that 2027 in the future looks like. But I don't think I'd go anywhere else. But you've spent some time down at the Crusaders, and it's a pretty hard place to leave once you make it inside, I guess. You talk about care and people looking after you like that, second to none. In my experience, they're one of the best clubs at looking after their players, and that's why they've been so successful. Is they look after the players, and the players want to give back. So
I remember the biggest thing that blew me away there was like kind of when I first rolled up there, like every single staff member like knew my name. Like people they really made an effort to learn your name off the bat, whether it was the lady that does the lunch or like every single person in the establishment like kind of knew who you were and had a good chat to you, and I was like, whoa, man, it's pretty impressive. I don't know whether they have a group chat about like remember this dude's name, but I was like, wow, right.
Yeah, it's just the small stuff, like picking you up from the airport, making sure you've a place to stay, all that stuff that I guess some other teams will leave up to you, and it can be stressful at times, especially moving to a new spot. So I think they take care of their players the best, man. It's hard to explain unless you feel it and you're part of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice for you there in 227, no doubt. But we have some options anyway, it's beautiful to have options there, it's lovely. So that's a wee question around the mental area because it's the educational one. Do you use much visualization?
Yep, heaps. And I know I've been using it for a few years, but never actually realised what I was doing. So I've done it since I was probably back in school.
Are you visualising like for that next game, or are you like looking pretty far into the future, like see myself in the Crusaders?
Currently, it would be that week. Like I'd be visualising, I guess, the players that I'm going to be calling, what type of passes I'm going to be getting, what type of.
So you're actually seeing it, like
It's really weird. Like
Nah,
I've been doing it for a while, and I didn't actually realise that I was doing it. But yeah, I guess that positive reinforcement in your head, seeing things happen, and I guess putting yourself in those situations when you're in bed, it is pretty weird. But I don't actually know how to explain it. But I have been doing it for a while, and I think it's massive. I've been catching up with the mental skills guys, and they're pretty big on it.
a big one of that.
Yeah, they're massive on it. And it is a tool and something that you can learn to do. Not everyone does it, I've found, but I found that it's real good for me. Just being able to, I guess, get those mental reps, I think, is one way to put it. Especially if you're not getting the actual reps at training, it's a better way to, I guess, stamp in those reps.
A lot of your visualizations actually come out the way they were when you thought about them.
Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't. But
they-
it is pretty cool when they do come off. It's weird to sit back and reflect on it. You're like, wow, I was actually thinking about doing this, and then it comes off in a game. So
I've got like a weird story about that. It's more of a long-term visualization, but when I was a kid, I used to like play on the tramp heaps because I had no brothers or sisters or nothing. So I'd play out there and imagine I'm playing rugby and shit, like a little weirdo. And I always remember, I'd always visualise myself playing for Northland, because David Hole was one of my favourite players. And I'd always, as a kid, kind of pretend to be David Hole and play for Northland. And I'd never been to Northland, never even knew nothing about it. And then, years later, I ended up with that jersey. It's a trip, man. And it wasn't until I got up here and I was like, man, I remember actually playing as a kid. And I always liked to be like I like the little provinces, So, and obviously David Hall was one of my favourite players. So, it's just visualization wise, I was like, wow, that was a true crazy moment. And there we go.
it's pretty crazy what your mind can do.
Man.
I'm very curious about all that stuff.
Just
the power of your mind, and even visualization, manifestation, all that stuff. It's a bit of a rabbit hole when you go down. There's genuinely some stuff there for sports people, I feel.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. Staying on the mindset and the mental games, what is your number one way to brush off a dusty performance?
I think having a clear plan for the next week.
Yeah.
Take the learnings from, I guess, the dusty performance. Take whatever you need to take from that, and then apply it in the following week. Like for example, round 1 against Taranaki, I missed touch a couple of times, and they're probably the worst 2 kicks I've ever kicked.
Why do you reckon those kicks went like that?
Well, I'm not sure. Probably in the training throughout the week, I didn't really practice the penalty touch kicks throughout the week, and then the following week I chucked in my plan, was deliberate with what I wanted to do that week, and
man, classic girls.
Yeah.
Did you on those penalty kicks to touch? I always found the bad ones I did is when I didn't stop to catch my breath. But if I'm huffing and puffing and I try to bang one in the touch, usually fishtails down the middle.
Yeah, it's probably.
Was that a part of it? Because first game.
I was blowing.
Get those briefs, man.
Yeah.
Tom Robinson styles.
Yeah. That's a great point. Just take a breather and reset.
Yeah, bro. I think that's a good little mental trick to have. What's your proudest moment in footy so far?
Probably playing for the Māori All Blacks at home was. I don't think I'll ever beat it. It was pretty cool. Playing in front of family and friends and on your home turf was special, especially alongside Sop.
That was a beautiful thing, eh?
Yeah.
It was a hell of a crowd too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the bank like that, man. It's stuff of dreams, eh?
It's beautiful. It's a trip, man. Well done, brother. What has been your hardest or worst moment in footy?
In terms of like performance or
In terms of any way you want to put it, you can be performance or an off-field, like a selection or a game you really wanted to be involved in but you weren't. You know, something that kind of sticks out in your mind that stung a little bit.
so I'll probably have to say that Māori's game then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one in Whangarei.
The one in Whangarei, yeah, that stung.
Not to win it.
Not to win it, but then also just, I guess, my personal performance. I don't feel like
I don't think you played that well.
No, I didn't.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think maybe just I just guess the magnitude of the game. And
You just
being
played in
alone.
a rugby super rugby final and nailed it. So you reckon there was more pressure at the Auckland game at home than the Crusaders Super Rugby final?
I think so. Yeah, I think probably the way I've framed it up in my head.
Spiritual stuff, eh?
Yeah. I think I just really wanted to get the win and perform well at home. I don't think I probably achieved that. So that probably stung a little bit heading into the NPC comp.
Yeah.
And then obviously the round one performance, I'd like to forget that as well. So yeah, probably those two back to back.
Yeah. And that's us. I know you there. If you have a bad performance, as we said, you're the master of coming back, man. And, yes, I always admired that about you, brother. So, going forward, your future. We've kind of touched on it, but is the black jersey where you want to get to?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
You're not worried about going overseas for this foreseeable future, eh?
No, not at the moment. Like contracted for 1 more year, so I'm pretty keen to give that year a really good crack and give it everything I got. And it's been a dream of mine since I was a kid, since I can remember, since I was running up the fields at Carmel. I always wanted to be an All Black, and yeah, that hasn't changed.
Was there any chatter around that after winning the Super title?
No.
Yeah, because I was like, kind of a few of us up here were doing the math. I'm like, man could be in the frame, you know, like could have been a little outsider. But yeah, no doubt, bro. As I said, your ceiling every year goes up, so I can see it, I can visualize it. So if you weren't playing rugby, what do you reckon you'd be doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Guessing.
Yeah. No, I'd like to do something for kids up here. Whether that's through sport or coaching, I'm not too sure, right? But I'd love to give back to the kids up in Northland, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we were just chatting off the podcast about doing a bit of a session with some of the kids from the north, so we'll put some details out about that. A bit of a kicking session with Brother Rives and myself. That'll be mean, so we'll suss that out. What about coaching? Do you reckon eventually coaching could be in
I don't. Just see how hard coaches work, eh? Like, if you want to be in the top teams, it's a lot of time away from family, a lot of screen time, especially these days. I watch as much huddle as anyone else, so I think I'll be sick of huddle by the end of my playing career, bro. So,
hopefully you got enough coin in the bank, you don't have to go down there.
Yeah, we'll see if we've got some options.
Tell up that Japanese coach that used to at high school, eh?
That's it.
Yes, sir. What is a hard question because you're so young, but what do you want your rugby legacy to be when it's all said and done? It's a tough question.
Tough question.
Question that'll probably change over the years as well as you get older.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully play for the All Blacks.
Yes, sir.
But when it's all said and done, like, I just like to be thought of as a good teammate. Somebody who worked hard, cared about the teams that he was in for. yeah, someone who enjoyed the off-field stuff, playing cards, coffees. That's what I enjoy the most, to be honest. It's just the small stuff, the riddles in the rooms, you know, just all the lunchroom chat, all that stuff. I tend to enjoy more, to be honest. So, yeah, someone who can have a laugh, can have a beer with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel you. What would be, almost to the end, what would be your advice for young men or women starting out in their footy careers that want to progress to the higher stuff? Full of tough questions, eh?
Yeah, hard. So many, yeah.
No rush, man, just let it come.
I don't know, like, if you want to put your mind to something, like, it's cliche as well, but if you really want something, you can go after it and get it. Just depends on how much you want to sacrifice.
Conviction towards the cause, eh?
Yeah, like, if you want something hard enough, you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. So,
especially in this day and age where there's so many different distractions now, eh? Like,
yeah.
I was talking about this with someone the other day, like when we were at school, like it was like basically at lunchtime you just play rugby, or even on the concrete, you know, you'd get a school bag and throw it around and like play league or rugby or whatever. But now at lunchtime at schools and after schools and stuff, there's so many different things to do, including technology and stuff. Also gives you a good opportunity though, if you turn it around, if you show a bit of conviction and go hard at whatever you want to do. If it's rugby, if you go hard at that, the competition's probably might be a bit less nowadays. I don't know if that's true, but possibly with all the different distractions and stuff, there's no better time than to show a bit of conviction there. Which would probably bring me on to the next question, where what's the biggest lesson rugby's taught you outside of the game that you've brought from rugby to use in your everyday life?
Probably just resilience. Yeah, like we spoke about tough performances, injuries, all the setbacks that you can go through with rugby, but it's probably just keeping it in perspective. Like, rugby's just a game.
Yeah.
Or you take it seriously, but you shouldn't take yourself seriously. So, yeah, I think rugby's probably given me a lot of perspective. You can go around the world, meet all these people. You know, if you're lucky enough, you can buy all these things. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a game that we love and we love to play. Yeah.
That's fair, bro. That's fair. Well, we're kind of coming to the end, bro. What I want to do is a quick fire round. It's just 5 questions, and I'll give you like 2 options of which one to answer, so it'll come straight from the heart. The last one you actually have to think a little bit, but here we go. So, Super Rugby title or Ranfurly Shield win with the Tunnies?
Ranfurly Shield.
Yes, light work. All Black call up or Ranfurly Shield win with the Tunnies?
Probably All Black call up.
Oh, you bastard. Nah, fair. Alright. The ability to outwork people or God-given talent?
The ability to outwork.
Athletic pedigree or silky sharp skills in rugby?
I'll probably say athletic pedigree because I don't have
That's
any.
interesting.
And you can always work on your skills.
Did you say you don't have any athletic pedigree? Fuck, try being me.
The ultimate bet.
Holy. Person who's had the biggest influence on your rugby career?
Same with parents.
Yeah. Mum and dad, eh? Man. Well, brother, that is pretty much the potty. Want to make it educational and try and inspire kids of the north, men and women. And you're like the first kind of dude that I thought to bring on, because you've had still young as, and you've already done so much. Really won a Super Rugby title. done all these things, and very inspirational. And on a personal note, obviously the Taniwha's 10 jersey means a lot to me, changed my life. So I was talking to Moldsy about this the other day actually, like as you start coming to an end, you especially for the Taniwha's jersey, you want the next person to be, you know, to represent it really well. It actually means something, that the next person is the right person, and for me that's definitely you. Like I was stoked to see, when I watched you throughout the years, watched your work ethic, watched how much you cared, all those things you noted off. Yeah, I was just happy that you're the next guy that took the jersey, and it's going to be probably yours as long as you're around, and see where your career goes, but hopefully see you in plenty more games in that Taniwha's 10 jersey, bro. And yeah, man, it's been an honour, especially when we get out in the field together. You slip to 15, I slip into 10.
Yeah,
but so yeah, man, on a personal note, stoked you're doing your thing, bro. And thank you for doing this, taking your time on your day off and doing this, man.
Bro, thank you. Cheers for having me.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, brother.